Spring is finally here, and so to celebrate, we're going to make a daisy chain bracelet made out of actual daisies. You'll need 10 feet of white paracord, and then just a couple feet of green and yellow, and then also our scissors and a lighter. Let's dive right in. So I've been seeing this bracelet in a couple viral videos lately, and looking it up, it seems that it's based on a tying it all together bracelet. It's the Aztec Sun bracelet, so we'll link to that in the description, but this one's a little bit different than that, so stick with us. So we'll start with the green, where you'll just need a couple feet of that cord. Just enough to fit around your wrist twice, essentially. And we're going to be making a knot and loop closure. So for the top, we'll make a loop, and that's going to turn into what our diamond knot or toggle knot is going to go through in the end. So just leave a small loop about like that, and then we want to grab our white cord. That's going to be making up the bulk of the bracelet. So once you've made your loop in the green, then we take the middle of our white, and we're just going to put it down through that hole and attach it with the cow hitch. So that means bringing our ends through that loop until it looks like this. We'll just cinch that tight. So most of this bracelet is going to be based on the cow hitch. So to construct our first flower, we're going to be bringing our green cords down and splitting our whites. So we'll start with the left-hand side here, and we'll go over and up through this loop right here. And you can pull that one tight. That's half of a cow hitch. And then to do the other half, we're going to come down to this side, around, and end through there. So there we have our completed cow hitch. But since we're working with one end, we've got to make it a little bit differently. Pull that one tight too, and do the same thing on the right side. All right, so now we've got our 3 cow hitches, and that makes up most of the petals, but this last side is going to be a little bit different. First, we want to orient our cross pieces on those knots downward so that they're hidden out of sight when we pull together our flower. Be careful on pulling the green a little too tight at this point, because you want to leave a good loop for your knot. All right, so now we're going to cross the green over itself, kind of completing our figure 8 shape here. And I'll take the right side cord and bring the end down through here. So it wraps around both green cords, going opposite directions there, and kind of locks that in place. Then we'll do the same thing with the white, except our end is going to go to the left side here through that loop. All right, so now pull all the cords tight, except again, be careful not to tighten your green too much. Should look about like that when you're done. And if you don't have a FID, which is a paracord tool that you can screw onto the end of your cord, works kind of like a sewing needle. You can be weaving your yellow in as we go, but if you do have a FID, you can add that afterwards. So what you want to do, and I'm going to use a FID just so you can see what we're doing, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have one. After you melt the end of your cord, you can just screw it right on there. All right, so then for the middle of our flowers, we're going to be coming up through some of these knots and going down through the others. So we want to first go up through this loop here from the bottom. So right like that. And then go down through the other side. Then you just want to pull enough slack through that you'll have enough to do your whole bracelet. So then moving on to the next step here, just want to make sure everything's snug. The less extra white cord you see in the middle, the better. Kind of completes the flower. Then we're just going to do the same thing again, so we'll go over that one more time just so you see how it's linked to the first one. So for this next flower, we're just going to use these 2 petals as the top petals for the next flower. You don't need to reconstruct this cow hitch up here. So we're just going to go into our side ones. So that was this, going over the side and up through the loop. sure your cord is untwisted so it lays flat. And then back the other way, underneath the green cord and down through the loop. Then the same thing on the other side again. So over the green, up through the loop, tighten that down, and then our reverse half hitch underneath the green and end down through the loop. So tighten all those cords down before moving on, otherwise we'll have some flower petals that are bigger than others and it doesn't look quite as nice and even. Again, before you bring these back together, if you don't have a FID, it might be easiest if you can bring the yellow cord up through your knots before you tighten those down fully. Alright, so now for our bottom two petals, just like before, cross over our greens. The white comes up on the bottom here, and then open things up so you can see what's going on, and then down through there. And same with the other side. Like that, and tighten everything down. All right, so that second flower is looking pretty good. We're gonna make a couple more of these and finish up our bracelet. I think it'll be 7 or 8 flowers in the end, depending on your bracelet size. All right, well, my estimate was way off. I have 12 daisies. I think I was not accounting for the fact that they're linked together with those shared petals. But now it's big enough, so I can finish off with a toggle knot and then cut our ends. And I'm actually gonna cut the ends first, just so they're out of the way. So on the back side, you can snip your white and your yellow. After you pull them tight, of course. And then just melt them down with the lighter. All right, so now we just have these 2 green cords left, and that's what we're going to make our toggle knot with. So if you remember to our recent video where we covered this knot, I'm actually going to turn this right side up here. This is a little like T-shaped knot. So put your cords together, and one is going to be coming down as a loop in front, and the other is going to do the same to the back, so like that. And then this one that's going around the back is going to go round and down through this loop. Same with this other one that's laying on top. It's going to go around and up through that loop. All right, so now we just want to tighten that down right against here. You can leave a little bit of space, and that'll just allow it to actually hook through your loop. So I'm going to tighten it down a little bit more than that, but we should be about good. All right, that's what it looks like when I'm done, and I'll clip the ends of those as well. And there's our completed bracelet, or daisy chain. So to put it on, this loop is just gonna hook right over the 2 sides of that T. And I like this knot because it's smaller than the diamond knot, but it actually still holds things pretty well there. So we made this to celebrate spring. If you guys are working on any spring projects of your own, let us know down in the comments. We have a community on Facebook called the Pear Corner, and you can post pictures there as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.